Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Daily Blend. I'm your host, AC, and if it sounds a little different, that's because we are on site at Sophia's restaurant. And if you're not been into the new Sophia's, it is a beautiful sight to see, which is why we are here today with one of the owners of Sophia's, Matt Jenne. How are you, Matt?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Thanks.
Thank you for having us in your space.
Yeah.
And thought it was important that we bring in Mr. David Spear, who is a local artist who painted all these beautiful murals that you are used to seeing in Sophia's. How are you, David?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Of course. It is nice to finally meet you in person, you know?
Yeah.
Like the
Nice
man,
to
the
meet you
myth,
too.
the man, the myth, the legend is what it feels like to me.
Oh,
Legendary. I agree.
Right. I mean, seriously, that's kind of what it feels like.
thank you. That's very nice of you
I
to
mean,
say.
after seeing your art in so many places around town, you know, on big buildings and in these places, it's nice to meet you.
Columbia's been really nice to me. It's a great place to live.
Yeah, it really, I agree
Yeah.
with you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I did not know the background of how this partnership came to be. So I would love if you guys could share a little bit of that with us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great story. You know, when we opened Addison's downtown, when we opened it in 1999, my partners and I tried to be very intentional about what we were going to put on the walls. And so literally for the first year, we didn't have anything on our walls because we just it was difficult for us to figure out what was perfect. And in that time, David was one of our employees. He was one of our servers and came to us with a proposal. And at the time, I remember thinking this, and I have a great relationship with Dave now, but at the time I was like, you should get back to work.
Yeah.
But he did some sketches, and I'll let him tell the rest of the story because it turned into a great relationship, and we've been having a great relationship ever since then.
So you kind of gave him the patronizing, okay.
You know, he was a kid at the time, probably in his early 20s, and we were like, okay, well, I don't know about this.
We'll take a look.
Sure. Yeah.
When he did those sketches, we were blown away.
Wow.
And I would tell you right now at both Addison South and Sophia's, so much of the soul that makes our restaurants are the paintings, and you know, we have Dave to thank for that.
Yeah. Well, it's been a great relationship. Very, you know, it's been great. Yeah. So when I proposed that, I did expect the reply at first, but I figured if I worked on these for a couple months and I had a good idea, you know, I came out of the restaurant industry as well. When I moved here from St. Louis, I got a job at Addison's in about January of 2000.
Yeah, right after we opened.
And so I thought, let's do something about the restaurant industry, kind of in the vein of Thomas Hart Benton, which I knew that the people of Missouri would relate to. But it's also a bit of Diego Rivera. He did the auto industry, but now it's the restaurant industry. So I wanted to depict everybody working in the restaurants.
Yeah, I understand. And I mean, these are, I mean, I feel like these are iconic.
Oh yeah, these are a little different.
Yeah, they are.
These came after the fact. So these guys were nice enough to pay me for the paintings, which a lot of people probably wouldn't do.
A great investment.
And I traveled Europe for 3 months, and then when I came back, they were opening Addison's or Sophia's and wanted a Mediterranean-style restaurant. So I thought, let's do Greek mythology in a modern-day Columbia
And
context.
it was no question. You know, when we opened Sophia's, we knew right away that the paintings, David Spear was going to be part of the atmosphere and part of the decor. And so it was pretty much a no-brainer at that point that we were married at the hip with the artist that did all the beautiful work at Addison's.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so this painting behind us, you told me a story about this one.
Sure. So this one, this is the Three Fates. Now, traditionally, the Three Fates are like old, haggard women with their eyes torn out, right? And but I don't like that idea of fate. So I used my wife when she was pregnant with my son, and her mother and her grandmother. So one weaves the thread of life, one measures it, and one cuts it. So that's the fates I think is a little bit nicer, and you could eat nachos while looking at it.
Yes,
right?
and be happy eating your nachos. Yes, be happy eating your nachos.
It's a happy fate.
And you told me that the child that your wife is carrying on there is now
23
years old.
Yeah, so
I mean, my goodness.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
So this is a long-standing relationship.
It is, yeah.
And if you open another restaurant, you know who you're calling.
For sure, and we did at Addison South. You know, David was a big part of where we were going to make some, you know, the artwork. And we didn't do anything initially, but we set it up so that those great stained glass windows that we have in the entranceway, we knew that that was something we were going to do, and it took a minute for us to get it all together, but they really
I thought
make
about
a
those
nice
colored
piece.
glass panels for 20 years before we finally did. I'm like, I've got an idea, and I held on to it. Yeah, I actually met my wife working at Addison's too. So
Really?
yeah, she worked for these guys too.
He owes
and
us
so
a lot.
I
He
do.
owes you a lot.
not a lot.
And we talked about beginnings of your career, correct?
That's right. So like I've been here for 25 years, and I've been fortunate enough to do a lot of big projects like the Blind Boom mural, the arcade mural that I just did last year, and I don't think I would be here still without the kickoff of the guys that they gave me a start.
I would tell you that and you know, his initial pitch to us, and like I said, I was probably a little dismissive of it at first, but once you saw the work, it was pretty clear that we were dealing with somebody that had immense talent, and I think we're very lucky to have been able to have the relationship that we have.
I agree.
Not to mention that he's an awesome guy too.
He's an awesome guy.
Genuine friends.
I love this. I love this. I am so glad that we got a chance to come here and talk to you, gentlemen. Now, before we close out, because you guys have moved recently, please tell people how to find you.
Absolutely. So we are really close to the old location.
Very close.
We are one building over, right behind. The best way to think about it is if you know where Shakespeare South is, we're right across the street from Shakespeare South.
Yeah.
If you go to the old Sophia's, just go around the corner and you should be right there.
Yes, so do not panic if you go to the old Sophia's and you do not see it. Right. Do not panic. You are so close. Just go around the corner, right? Just go around the corner. We don't want anybody to panic.
And and you can check out the paintings that you've seen forever for the first time because they look so different.
That is truly what it feels like. That's truly what it feels like. It's what it felt like to me. That's why I wanted to do this. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having us in this space. We appreciate it. And we will catch you guys next time. And everybody come on out to the new Sophia's. Enjoy some nachos under the environment of these beautiful David Spear paintings. We'll see you next time.